All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today we're going to crack open the toolbox for the real local AI power users. You know, if you're looking for total control, a feature set that just doesn't quit, well, you're in exactly the right place.
So let's just jump right in with a question. Have you ever felt trapped? You know, like you're using these AI tools, but you're stuck in first gear and you just want to floor it?
Yeah, if that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. It's a classic problem. You've basically hit what I call the power user wall. That's the point where a tool's simplicity stops being a feature and starts becoming a cage. And here are the signs, right? You want to fine-tune a model, but you can't. You want to control every little parameter, but the options just aren't there. You're wishing for extensions or add-ons? Basically, you've outgrown the starter kit. It's time for an upgrade. And that upgrade, well, this is it. This is where Text Generation WebUI comes into play. You might know it by its unforgettable codename Oobabooga. This thing isn't just another program. It's the professional-grade command center for doing AI on your own machine.
Okay, the best way to wrap your head around this is with an analogy. Think about cameras. Tools like LM Studio or GPT-4all, they're like your smartphone camera. You point, you shoot, you get great results, but you have very little control. Text Generation WebUI, on the other hand, is a full-blown professional DSLR. We're talking full manual controls, total customization. Yeah, it's got a steeper learning curve, but the shots you can get, unmatched.
So how does it actually do that? How does it give you that insane level of control? Well, it really boils down to three key things.
First up, extensions. Seriously, think of these like super-powered plugins you can just bolt on. You need your model to browse the web, there's an extension. Want it to have long-term memory? There's an extension for that too. Or integrate with other apps? Yep, they fundamentally change what your AI can even do.
Next, let's talk parameter control. And I mean real control, not just some simple creativity slider. This tool exposes every single knob and dial. We're talking temperature, top P, repetition penalty, the works. It gives you surgical precision to really sculpt how the model behaves. And then there's the flexibility, which is just, wow. You can load pretty much any model format out there. You can even merge different models together to create your own weird custom hybrids. And you can shrink them down, quantize them on the fly so they fit on your hardware. It's a true playground for anyone who likes to experiment.
Okay, so all that power is cool in theory, but what does it look like in practice? Let's walk through a quick, real-world example. Imagine you're an AI researcher trying to run an experiment.
So their goal is pretty straightforward. They want to test how different sampling methods affect a model's output. With this tool, they can instantly load the exact model format they need. Then they can precisely tweak parameters, one at a time, to isolate what they're testing. After that, it's just a matter of comparing the outputs. You see? This kind of controlled experiment is it's not possible on the simpler tools. Not even close.
But look, with great power comes, well, a bit of complexity. So that brings us to the big question, right? Is this powerful tool actually the right fit for you?
Okay, let's break it down. This tool is going to be your best friend if you're a power user who craves maximum control, if you're a researcher who needs a proper lab for AI experiments, if you're an enthusiast who just loves to tinker and customize everything, or if you're a developer trying to build something cool on top of local AI. If any of those sound like you, then yes, this is for you.
But we have to be honest here. Let's talk about who should probably steer clear. If you just want the absolute simplest, easiest option, this isn't it. If you're a complete beginner to local AI, you might want to start somewhere else. And if you just don't need all these crazy advanced features, then why bother with the complexity? If ease of use is your #1 priority, there are better choices out there.
And when you actually look at the alternatives side by side, that trade-off becomes crystal clear. Text Generation WebUI is way over on one end of the spectrum. It's the most complex, sure, but it gives you the absolute maximum customization. It was built from the ground up for power users. It happily leaves the easy-to-use space for tools like LM Studio.
But even with that learning curve, there's a very good reason why this tool has become the undisputed champ, the de facto standard for the most advanced folks in the local AI world.
I mean, it's really earned that reputation. Its sheer power pulls in the advanced users. And what do? They build on it. They create this amazing, thriving ecosystem of extensions and write tons of documentation. This creates this awesome feedback loop where the community drives development, and that's what keeps it on the cutting edge.
Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. So before we wrap up, let's distill all of that down to the 3 absolute key takeaways you need to remember.
Number 1, this thing is all about maximum control and customization. Period. No compromises. Number 2, it is built for a specific crowd: advanced users, researchers, and serious enthusiasts. And number 3, the entire philosophy is a trade-off. You're trading easy for powerful, simplicity for capability.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought here. This is the tool you turn to when the simple stuff just won't cut it anymore. So, the question I want to leave you with is this: what are you going to build when all the limitations are finally gone?